muted you. Okay, fantastic. So we'll start seated today. So if you have a block or cushions, you can lift your hips by sitting on them and sit any way that's comfortable. So some people like to sit cross-legged and lift their hips like this. Some people like to sit with their knees forward and their feet back. So we'll be here a few minutes. So find a seated position that's comfortable. And we will start by simply connecting to our breath. So let's close our eyes. And before you start to deepen your breath, just first check inwards and just notice how you're breathing. Notice that it's probably quite shallow. Just simply observing. And then as you start to arrive into your practice, let's start to deepen the breath. Lengthening the breath, slowing it right down. Just noticing how that feels, just the simple act of taking a long, deep, slow breath. So thanking yourself for showing up today. Showing up to give yourself the gift of 1 hour. So breathing nice and deeply. Maybe you want to take your hands to your belly so you can feel how your belly expands as you inhale. Notice how the whole body shifts slightly as you breathe. And just simply connecting to your breath. So today's theme is gratitude. And the first quote I'll read you is by Einstein. He says, "There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle." So let's start by doing a pranayama, so breath, where we move prana, which is life force, around the body. We'll do alternate nostril breathing today, anuloma viloma, which is very helpful to balance the yin and the yang energies in the body. So taking your right hand, you can take the 2 fingers down, and then you take your thumb to your right nostril and your 4th finger to the left nostril. Taking the other hand and just lightly pressing the back of the palm to the leg or wherever is comfortable. We'll do a breathing exercise where we will exhale for 6 and inhale for 4. So all together exhaling out of your left nostril, fully sucking the belly in, and then breathing, inhale through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold both nostrils, retain the breath. And exhale through the right nostril for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pinch both nostrils, retain the breath. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. Bring your attention to your third eye in between your eyebrows. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. Softening that space in between the eyebrows. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. retaining the breath, imagining the sun rising in between your eyebrows. Exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Retain the breath. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round in your own time. So count yourself. No rush if you haven't finished, but when you do, place both hands down to the legs, close the eyes, and just take a moment to notice how you feel. No judgment, no criticism, just observing. And when you're ready, fluttering the eyes open, we're going to come straight to lying down. So you're taking out whatever you had behind you. Let's lie on our backs. So we're going to start by taking the right ankle to the top of the left thigh, and then bring your left thigh towards your body. So you can either just hold your thigh, or you can interlace your fingers behind your thigh to pull the leg in. You want to flex your right foot here. And we're going to stay here for a good minute or two. So closing the eyes, and just start to notice how this feels. So you want to find your edge where you can feel something, but not pain. And then try to surrender into the edge. So we don't ask for perfect alignment in Yin Yoga. We ask for integrity though. So you have to listen to your body to know what shape feels right. What is integrity for your body in this pose today will be different from everyone else, or how you may have done this pose last week. Breathing deeply and slowly. Noticing your back against the earth. How it feels to be against a fairly solid, hopefully flat surface. Slowing your breath, bring your awareness to the surface. And then start to straighten your left leg. So it might not actually go straight, that's absolutely fine. But finding something where you can feel some kind of lengthening in the back of the left leg. And then breathe here. Nice, long, slow breaths. Opening the hips at the same time as lengthening the back of the legs. I'll read you a quote by Rumi. He says, "Gratitude is the wine for the soul. Go on, get drunk. So I'm going to give you different categories of your life and just ask you to think of one thing that you're grateful for. So let's start the first one with yourself. Is there something about yourself that you're grateful for? Breathing into that gratitude for self. And then maybe if it feels okay, start to circle slowly the left leg, just little circles. So you're just waking up the hips. You can hopefully feel that in the hips. Nice and slowly. And then circle the other way. Just noticing how a tiny circle, a tiny slow circle can feel, bringing your awareness to the subtlety of movement. And then stop the circling and try to spread the toes of the left feet. Maybe look up at your foot. Can you see light in between each toe? Can you spread and widen your foot? Then circling through the ankle. Just noticing how amazing that is that your ankle can do that. And then bending through that left knee. You're going to lift your head up towards your legs nice and slowly. If you rushed, notice that you might have rushed and maybe start again. So just bringing the head, lifting the head up, and then slowly rolling back down, feeling all of those little muscles in the neck moving, working. Releasing your hands, taking your left foot back towards the ground, and then you're going to come into a very gentle one-legged bridge. So taking your hands down, you want your palms flat on the floor, spread through your left foot, really ground through your foot, and then start to peel your hips off. Now your hips may come 1 inch off the floor, or you may decide to lift your hips further. Whatever you do, make sure that you're doing it with integrity to your body. So you're listening to your body, finding your edge for today, whatever that might be, and then embracing the wobble if you are wobbling. Push through the palms to try and gain more stability. And breathe into the chest, let the ribs expand. And then slowly start to come down. Nice. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, peeling those hips back down. Nice. From here, take your arms out to the side, either fully or into cactus, depending on how much space you have. And then drop your whole hips, the whole structure of your lower body, drop it over to the left. Nice and slowly, again checking in, did you rush? Could you redo it if you did rush? And then looking over to the right. So again, you're just making sure that your body feels good. So fidget around in this twist. You'll be here for a good few minutes. So fidget around in it until it feels good for you. Testing the pose and then finding the pose. So there are so many benefits to being grateful and having a gratitude practice. I mean, there are many research studies on this subject, but gratitude is very much being linked to increased happiness, increased life satisfaction, and it really is one of the most powerful ways to increase your well-being. So instead of thinking of what's wrong in your life or what could be better or what you don't have, you bring your attention, your awareness, your breath to everything that you do have. So in this lovely twisted healing posture, I'll invite you to bring your attention to something in your family that you're grateful for. Something about your family that you're grateful for. And just holding that in your attention. And when your mind wanders, which of course it will, that is the nature of your mind, it thinks. Just gently, with compassion and kindness, bring your mind's attention back to your breath, to the inhale, to the exhale. Notice how your breath changes in different poses. So in this pose, because your belly is restricted in the twist, you'll breathe more into the tops of the lungs. So really slowly, whenever you're ready, you're going to start to come out of the pose. Nice and slowly. There is no rush. When you come out, just take both feet flat on the floor. Spread the toes. Push the feet into the floor a couple of times. Kind of spread out the feet, almost massaging the feet with your own weight. So pushing into the feet, just giving yourself maybe like a little walk. So push into one foot, then the other. Maybe the hips will raise alternatively. And then whatever you're doing, slow it down and see if you can do it even slower. Breathe. Good. So from here, you'll stretch both legs out. Take your arms above your head and then roll your body onto your tummy. So when you're on your tummy, you want your right arm to come out to the side, alongside the shoulder. Take the left hand and place the palm flat on the ground under the left shoulder. Then bend the left knee. And as you roll over to your right side, so push into your left hand, roll over the body, and take your left foot behind you. Take the head and place it on the floor in a comfortable position. And what hopefully you should feel is this quite strong shoulder opener. So going through the phases of a yin posture, testing the pose, fidgeting in the pose until you find your edge, and then settling in the pose. So directing your breath to your shoulder, to opening around the shoulder area, which might feel stiff if you sit a lot. And send loving energy to your shoulder. So a lot of teachings on gratitude say that although gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to increase your well-being and bring miracles into your life, the hard part is shifting our mindset from our overbooked lifestyles towards what the present moment is offering us. So with this lockdown again, hopefully your overbooked lifestyle has been reduced to not much. And I wonder whether that's given you the opportunity to really see the present moment for all that it offers, to see beauty in the small things, the simple things, maybe even the mundane things around you. It's very easy to focus on what's difficult, and the brain is actually built in that way for survival. So your brain will naturally go to the difficult bits that you need to fix. But we often linger in this place for too long. Could there be more beauty and more abundance in your everyday life by just simply being grateful for everything that you do have? If you've lost your long, deep breath, bring it back. Don't chastise yourself for losing your breath and your attention. That's very natural. Just allow the breath to bring you right back here into this present moment. Can we be grateful for this present moment, for this shoulder opening pose? So deepening the breath, slowing everything right down even more. And from here, you're going to roll slowly back to center, nice and slowly, because that's a big stretch on your shoulder. And then let's take both hands underneath your shoulders. Take your big toes so that they're touching. And then just gently lift up into a baby cobra. So you're activating those big muscles adjacent to your spine. And if you fancy it, you could even push into your hands to lift up into the chest, into the back, as you wish. So on your exhale, you're going to slowly come back down. Nice, slow, mindful movement. And then you can take your arms out in front of you and then roll over onto your back so that we can do this sequence on the left side. So taking your left ankle and placing it on top of your right thigh, feet both flexed. Bring your right thigh towards you. find something that works. Either hold it, interlace your fingers behind your thigh, whatever works for you. We're staying in this simple 4x4 pose for a little while, so close your eyes. Submerge into your softness. And breathe. Breathing nice and deeply. And if it feels comfortable for you, nice and loudly. So you hold yourself accountable to your long, deep breaths as you can hear yourself breathe. Now, bringing your attention to the next category that we're going to look at, which is home. Whatever home means to you. Is there anything about your home that you feel grateful for? Breathe into your gratitude. Breathe into your heart space. And then start to straighten that right leg, lifting it up, keeping both feet flexed if that feels okay for you. And just now noticing the subtlety of how that pose has changed. It's gone from hips to hips and back of the leg. So just breathing here. And then if you'd like, you could take little circles with the right leg. So your whole lower body will start to circle a little bit. And just simply bring your attention to how that feels. Notice how the lower back starts to get massaged on the floor. Taking the circles in the other direction. And then spread through your toes. Can you see the light in between each toe? Can you move your toes and make them wider? And then take the circle into your ankle. Really turn the ankle, maybe turning the toes as well, embracing any clicks. And then taking your turn and making it slower. Breathe into the ankle. Bending the right knee. Nice and slowly dropping that right leg back down. Then inhale, lift your head up. Nice and slowly. Taking the slow path. Just noticing how that feels on the neck to have it lifted. Take a couple of breaths here. And then slowly lower the head back down to the floor. Let's release the hands now and let the right foot drop towards the floor, taking the arms outwards, so either into cactus-shaped position or just out long ways. Then drop the whole of the bottom of your body over to the right this time, looking over to the left, and then just fidgeting around in the pose. So it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't matter how it looks. It matters how it feels. And you're going to find a twist that works for you today. And then settle down into the twist. Let the body do its healing. So we can break down gratitude into different things. One way of doing it is to break it down into 3. The first is cultivating gratitude in your mind. The second is feeling it in the heart. And the third is displaying gratitude in the body. So we can begin this cascade of gratitude by shifting our thoughts from focusing on the lacking, on resentment, on hurt, on sorrow, and refocusing on our current abundance and what we do have. Seeking to find the goodness that is present in the world by seeing the beauty in the simple pleasures of life, and by noticing the love that's present all around us. These thoughts eventually trickle from the mind into your heart space, where we feel a softening, an opening, a warm flicker of joyfulness returning. And then from the heart, we find ourselves allowing gratitude to trickle into the whole body, allowing us to breathe deeply. And not just breathing shallowly in the chest, but breathing deep healing breaths down into the belly, all through the body. A grateful body is one that is soft, that is open, that is receptive. This is the way in which we can experience and express gratitude in the body. So breathing into your twist, allowing any toxins to be released here, wringing out anything that you don't need. And when you're ready, nice and slowly, bringing your body back to center. Stay in your 4x4 pose and take your hands down alongside the body, palms pressing down. And spread your toes of your right foot, which is grounded on the floor. Really spread them. And then come into your one-legged bridge. So maybe your hips come maybe just 1 centimeter off the floor. And maybe you lift them more. But whatever you do, you're listening to your body. You're finding your edge. And you're showing gratitude for your body by listening to it, by noticing, and by breathing into your heart space. So when you're ready, start to roll back down, one vertebrae at a time, one vertebrae at a time. And take both feet so that they're flat on the mat, and then spreading the toes and just pushing your weight into your feet. And then maybe start to lift alternate hips as you kind of walk out to your feet here. Just a lovely subtlety of kind of fake walking, but just bringing the intention to your beautiful feet that hold you all of your life. They carry you around. Nice. So let's roll over onto our stomach. So stretching out through the legs. Perhaps you like to take the arms above you so that you can roll over in an easier way. And then when you're on your tummy, you want to take your left arm out to the side. And you want to take your right hand underneath your right shoulder. And then you want to bend your right knee. And slowly start to push the body around, dropping the heads to the floor and bringing your attention to your shoulder. So this is a very intense pose. So you really have to pay attention to what your body is saying. If your body is screaming at you saying, no, 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 my shoulder doesn't like that, then shift around, like roll back out of it, move your arm into a slightly different place, or maybe don't roll the body around so much. But wherever you are, listen to the body. Fidgeting around until you're comfortable. And then bringing your mind's attention to something related to your work. And you can interpret that however you like. It could be your job. It could be a job that you have had previously in your life. It could be the work that you've done for your family or service work. Whatever you like. But bringing your attention to that and just think of one thing in relation to your work that you are grateful for. And breathe into that gratitude. Let it fill you up. Notice how it feels to be full of gratitude. Not full of longing, but full of gratitude. I'll read you a quote by Melody Beattie. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So bringing your attention back to your breath, letting your breath, let your awareness of the present moment bubble up to the surface. Just this moment. Can we accept it for what it is? With love and with gratitude. And slowly, slowly, slowly start to come out of that posture. Notice how it feels on that shoulder, having done such a big opening. And then take both hands underneath the shoulders and just notice what your body wants to do. Does it want to come into a baby cobra? Does it want to pull up into a bigger cobra? Maybe you want to take the arms out to the diagonals and lift up in this way. Whatever you feel works for you. And then slowly coming down. No rush. No rush. We're coming up to a seated position, but let's come through child's pose, so a bit of mindful movement. We won't hold child's pose for a long time today, but coming through it. So carving through the back, making space in between each vertebrae. And noticing how it feels to be a little ball. And then rolling up, curving through your back, rounding out that spine. And then pulling your body up almost like a puppet on a string, the head to come last. Good, you're going to slide over your hips. Take your legs out in front of you. So this is where your block and pillows might come in handy. So if you have a block, some people have one, some people have two. If you have one, you could put one in between your feet like that. That can feel quite nice. You can also put it in front of your feet if you like and reach towards there. You can also build up a kind of tower because we're going to hold this pose for a good few minutes so that you can lean on it, or you can sit on them and then use your pillows to comfort you as you come down. So you'll all have different amounts of props, so be creative in what works for you. If you just have pillows, pillows are gorgeous for this, you can maybe double them over. And then don't forget, yin doesn't ask for perfect alignment, so you may start with your feet flexed because you're used to doing the proper pose in yoga, but you can really flop and surrender and then start to make your journey forwards, shuffling around until you find something that works. Now you'll be here for a good few minutes. So really shuffle around until you've got something that is your edge for today. Notice how it feels in a forward bend. So some people love forward bends and some people love back bends. It usually just depends on, well, lots of things, but how your skeleton is formed. So notice, if you're somebody that doesn't really like forward bends, can you try to approach this forward bend with acceptance, without judgment, and just breathe, just your breath. And now bringing your attention to the category of health. Is there anything in that category for you that you might be grateful for? What is it? How does it feel when you feel grateful for whatever it is you're thinking of? Does it make you feel whole? Does it make you feel full? Does it make you feel light? Does it make you feel honored or humbled? I read you a quote by Chesterton. He says, "You may say grace before meals, all right, but I say grace before the concert and the opera, and grace before the play and the pantomime, and grace before I open a book, and grace before sketching, painting, swimming, fencing, boxing, walking, playing, dancing, and grace before I dip the pen in the ink." So breathing in to whatever it is that you're grateful for in the category of health. Surrendering into the pose. So scan your body. Where are you holding tension? And in this pose, you almost certainly will be holding tension somewhere. Breathe into the tension and then surrender, melt into the pose. Noticing how we're targeting the connective tissue here in Yin Yoga, the fascia. And making sure it's nice and healthy and elastic and flexible so it can hold our body together with ease. Can we be grateful for our fascia? Taking a couple more breaths, so make these ones count, make them long, make your back expand as you inhale. Make the exhale a surrender so you can melt down into your fullest forward bend. And then slowly, slowly coming back up. Nice and slowly. Nice and slowly. Good. So we're coming into reclined butterfly here, and you can do this depending on how many props you have in your own way. So if you have 2 blocks, I suggest putting your soles of your feet together and putting 2 blocks under your knees. If you don't have blocks, just don't put them under your knees, because you will need your pillows to go behind you. Now preferably you want them under your shoulder blades, so you might need to plug them up a bit, and then you're just going to roll the body down because you want your heart open. So you might need to fidget around until something works. You might need to play around. What do you want to do with your hands? You're going to be here for a good few minutes, so make sure it works for you. And make sure that your heart space is open. Thornton Wilder said, "We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of all our treasures." So can you breathe into your wonderfully open, soft heart space in this pose? And feel alive as you bring your consciousness to your treasures. Filling the heart. Let the heart overflow with gratitude, with grace. Notice how it feels to have your body in this pose. This for me is the ultimate pose for gratitude. It's opening of the heart space. It's like a surrender. Thank you to the universe. Can you heal your own heart with your breath, sending your breath to your heart space, the green Anahata chakra? Can you unravel some of the armor around your heart? Peel off a layer of that onion and allow your heart space to breathe in gratitude, to fill up on your life as it is in this present moment. And as Rumi says, wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. So very, very slowly, you're going to start to make your way into Shavasana, into corpse pose, into your final relaxation. So make sure it's really nice. Do you have a blanket, or perhaps you want your pillows under your knees, or maybe one pillow under your knees and one pillow under your head? But make sure that you fidget around until it feels good and comfortable, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. If you like, you can have the back of the hands to the floor and the palms facing upwards, which is receiving. You're receiving energy from the skies, from the heavens above. Can you make sure that your legs are relaxed? Perhaps you want to roll your ankles outwards. And then scan your whole body. Bringing your attention from your feet, relaxing your feet, into your legs, relaxing your legs. Bring your breath, your attention to your hips, relaxing your hips. Bringing your attention to your belly, to your chest, to the whole of your torso, and relax. Bringing your attention to your shoulders, your arms, and your hands, and relax. And bring your attention to your head and your neck, your face and your jaw, and relax. Read you a poem by Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet. It's called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honourably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Deepening the breath now, bringing your awareness to your body on the floor, being held by the earth, supported. And then slowly, slowly, you're going to make your own way to a cross-legged or a comfortable seated position. Nice and slowly. And taking your hands to prayer at your heart center. Eckhart said, "If the only prayer you say in your life is thank you, that would suffice." So let's inhale the arms out and up together until your palms touch above your head, and then draw them through center line, stopping at the point in between your eyebrows, Ajna chakra. Thank you. Taking your hands down to your throat, to Vishuddhi chakra. Thank you. Taking your hands down to heart center, Anahata chakra. Thank you. And then fluttering the eyes open. Namaste.